a lot of things that happened in our lives for all of us sort of broke us down in certain ways and forced us to accommodate things that we didn't have a context for or the capacity to understand when they were happening. And often there wasn't anybody there that could hear us or that would want to hear what we had to say, or we were desperate to put it behind us because it was so awful. And it wasn't who we wanted ourselves to be. It wasn't what we wanted to say about ourselves. It wasn't, the experience we wanted to have or have other people know us as. So, a lot of us have everyone really has put a lot of this kind of unacceptable category material in the deep storage, right? And but it sits in there, and it doesn't. Nothing changes as long as that's still in there. That still is being accommodated. It's still taking up space that other more productive and creative things could have held otherwise. So as these memories start to arise, we are charged with consciously acknowledging them and what they did to us, what those experiences, the effect that those experiences had on us, so that we can actually let them go. When they're coming up, they're actually on the way out. It doesn't mean that they're coming back in again. It means that they're on the way out. And so this is the good news when you start to have these realizations about the past, because it's unfinished business. When it's finished business, even if you remember something, it's not a big deal. But the things that bother you when they come up, that's the stuff that you really need to just sit with and say, wow, that happened. That happened and it was awful, or I didn't know what to do. And forgive yourself for not knowing what to do. Forgive yourself for being in that situation in the first place. Let yourself off the hook. Let yourself off the hook. Because until you do, you've got that part of your psyche is sort of imprisoned, right? And it colors everything. It colors everything else. And it colors your sense of not being wholly, truly who you are, because you have this foreign energy in your space, this unwanted foreign energy. So let it go. So we're in Scorpio season right now. Scorpio is the second month of autumn. And this is the time of year when the leaves are turning colors, when the days are shorter and nights are growing longer. The growing season goes from spring to fall, and then from fall to winter is the kind of time out, when we can, come to terms with what has happened and decide whether we're going to reestablish it and carry it forward, or we're going to release it and let it go and make room for something else. So we have an opportunity to clear the decks, as we see things dying around us, and we see sort of the fruits of our labor that once were all shiny and bright and beautiful and exciting, now have become clutter in our space. We have an opportunity to let it go. Well, we always have that opportunity, but the energy is really ripe right now for releasing. The sun is in Scorpio, Jupiter's in Scorpio, Mercury is in Scorpio, Venus and Mars will soon be in Scorpio. We're going to have a lot of Scorpio energy going on, and this is the energy that is, the Scorpio is a sign of sex, death, and rebirth. And so it's really about alchemizing two things that exist and joining them together. It's shared resources. It's not mine or yours. It's what belongs to us. And what are we going to do with it? You know, as we let things die to their old form, they create a power for something else to exist in their place. So when we don't let go, we have a lot more to worry about than when we do let go. And for some of us, letting go is very difficult. It's very painful. We like things the way they are, or we would rather other people changed instead of we changed. And but if we don't actively participate, then things don't change for us. And that's the opening right now. That's the opportunity, is to let go of what you know doesn't work for you anymore in order to create a space for something new eventually to fill. And the space between letting go and something new filling needs to be open for a little while. You can't just go boom, boom, and have something else come in and immediately replace it. It doesn't really work very well. And when we do that, we carry the energy of the old into the new. And that's not what we want to do. We want to really start fresh, because these old patterns have kind of dominoed off the previous one, and we create a lot of the same kinds of experiences. So if you really want things to change, then you want the energy to be completely dissipated out of the old manifestations before you put it into something new. You know, give yourself time. Let your field lay fallow for a little while. Let it have a chance to renew itself, and then something new can happen, and things can change, and that's good.